Okay, once again, thank you for joining Clarity Consulting Group's webinar on text message marketing and how it can help get traffic into your store or location. So foot traffic is always something that everybody does struggle with. So hopefully text message marketing can be your answer. I'm going to share my screen. We can get started. So text message marketing, let me start my slideshow from the beginning. So why are we even looking into text message marketing? We do email, we do social media. Gosh knows we do social media posts enough, right? We go to networking groups. We ask for referrals. Why do we need this? So throughout the next 30 minutes, hopefully you can see why text message marketing could be another tool in your marketing tool belt. It's a direct communication tool, so you can reach customers instantly on their personal device, and who doesn't always have their phone on them, so you can reach them directly. Huge open rates. So on the average, email marketing has an open rate of 20 to 24%, and that's a pretty good, healthy open rate. Open rate for text messages going to people that have opted in is 98%. So, and not only 98% people will open your message, but they will open it within 3 minutes. It's cost effective. Text message marketing is pretty inexpensive to do when you look at other traditional marketing platforms. And it can drive immediate action, meaning you can send a link, for instance, go buy this product on our website here, get 20%, use this code. Or, it'll be immediate action, meaning that if you're trying to do a registration, if you're trying to do any drives, anything like that, you can send a link and it will be immediately seen, and hopefully they'll click on it right away. So before we get into pulling you through the hows and the whys of text message marketing, I'm going to share some statistics. So this is going to be a bunch of percentages, but please just try to hang in there with me because there are very important statistics that I have found. So 70% of consumers are already using text message marketing. You're not new. 70% of people out there are already using it to go, and it's driving them to go into a location, go into a store, go into a venue, attend an event. So they're pretty used to this already. Retailers report up to a 40% increase in traffic when they use a targeted text campaign. So what's a targeted text campaign? That's something that we can talk a little bit about later, but you are targeting your message to who's getting it and hopefully giving them a call to action that is going to make them engage and either come in or click what you want them to click. Small businesses see an average return of every dollar spent, they're getting 5 back, and that's all based on text message marketing ROI. Businesses' response rates are very high compared to traditional response rates. Mobile coupons, I know, you might have tried, whether you have a brewery, a vineyard, a restaurant, whatever your location is, you've tried to get people in there with coupons. Traditional paper coupons really don't work as well. 73% higher redemption rate is seen through a coupon sent through text message versus traditional means. And then those that don't immediately use your coupon, almost 50% of those people will save it and hopefully use it in the future. And the conversion rate is much, much higher than email marketing. 75% of consumers say they're okay with receiving text messages. This is one pushback that I do hear is, yeah, but do they really want it? I don't want to bother them. Is it too much? I wouldn't want to text all the time. So all of those preconceived notions or thoughts that we have, those objections aren't valid because 75% of people surveyed said, yeah, they're okay with getting a text message from a brand or a customer or a store that they have already opted into. And actually, 64% of those people say you're not doing it enough. 64% think that they should be doing it a little bit more. So don't have that objection in your head of people don't want this. The surveys and the statistics show otherwise. So what are some benefits for your business? It's instant reach. We talked about that. Customers always have their phones on them. You can have immediate communication about your promotions or offers. You're not hoping that they see your post. You're not having to pay continuously Facebook or Instagram that hopefully somebody will see that ad. You're not hoping that they open your email and click on what you want them to click. It's immediate with text message marketing. And it's also a two-way communication tool. So what I have seen, there's some messages that can be sent back. So we send out a message about a promotion or an upcoming event. Someone actually might email back and say, "Hey, I have a question," and you can directly communicate. It's much more effective than phone calls or emails trying to catch up with each other. You can also confirm reservations and confirm purchases as well. You can personalize your marketing. So if you get really fancy with this, you can, when people are signing up, you can put them in certain groups. So there's ways to do this and prompt them to tell you like how they found the QR code or the keyword, where they had a live event, where they had a picnic that you were doing, where they had a painting thing. So you can really create groups of people within your text message marketing platform and then customize your messages just for them. So we talk about this for email marketing, and it can be done for text messages as well. So it's very personalized and customized messages to them. And it's also, you can customize deals and promotions that you are offering to them as well. And the best thing, I think, is that we can measure this pretty quickly. You can track the open rates very easily. You can monitor the redemption of the mobile offers easily as well, because they either have a code or they have to show you a certain message that they got. So if they're in the store and they're getting 20% off a shirt, for instance, anybody that got 20% off a shirt had that text message coupon, had that text message offer. So it's easy to track that. And then at the end, what you want to do is analyze it. So we have to take a look at what happened. We have to take a look at all the numbers, and then you have to have the knowledge to know what it all means. So once you look at those numbers, and then you can tweak and make your offer the next time even better. So what are some ideas? How are we doing this? What are we offering? I find that the time sensitive offers do really well. So this is, save 20% if you buy this Friday, or give them a date. So it's a limited time discounts, only on Tuesday, only today, which brings up the flash sales. So you could offer a flash sale, just today, only for you. You want people that have signed up to feel special. You want them to sign up and feel like they're part of this exclusive group. And so what you want to do is give them offers, give them promotions, give them the in, for say per se into your business, and remind them that there's happy hour specials coming up. Remind them it's Taco Tuesday. Remind them what's coming up. There's karaoke this weekend, or there's a live band coming this weekend. So, but going back to the time sensitive offers, I have seen that those really do work really well. The conversions are quick, because there is an expiration date. You can use text message marketing for points for loyalty points, birthday specials, exclusive previews just for them. Um, you want to try to, once again, make them feel special and make them feel part of this VIP group. And then what I love is the event invitations. So this is reminding them again of things happening, whether you're having a tasting or a paint night or a trivia night or live music or a special guest coming in or a big community event, whatever that is, you can invite them directly. Because remember, 98% of those people are going to open that message. So you're gonna invite them directly, and they can know what's going on, and you can remind them to come in. On the flip side, if you have an event and something happens when they have to cancel, whether it's an outside event because of rain or the artist can't come in, whatever that reason is, anybody that is signed up to get messages, we can notify them right away. So it's another communication tool to make sure that people know that something might have changed on any of those special events that you have reminded them about. If you have new products, new launches, you can offer those just, a sneak peek to the VIP, to the VIP groups, and but always try to have an offer. So yeah, this new product's coming out. You can pre-buy it because you're part of this group. That could be your offer. Or this new product's coming out, or save. We have an event coming up, save $5 if you register by this Friday. That's an event, and that's an offer just for this group. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be money or a percentage off. However, that's usually what people are looking for. There's special in-store sales. So these are kind of like secret sales that you could have in your location that only the people with the code or only the people that have a certain message will get. And once again, that's easy to measure because whoever used that code had the text message market message that they used. And then exclusive customer previews, so that they're the first to know about whatever's coming up at your venue or at your location. These are just some preliminary ideas. You can get super creative, and we can have a lot of fun with it. But these are just some ideas on how you could use text message marketing. So how do you get started? Um, First, you have to let the FCC know that you are doing this. And I know that's a little scary to say or to think about. How do you even start doing that? If you hire an agency, as myself or anybody else that does text message marketing, they can handle that for you. Otherwise, usually the platforms can help you with it, but it is a process. It is an approval process. You have to upload things to the FCC. They will review your business. They will review your website. They will review your services and your products. I have run into two problems in the past. One is the industry of cannabis. They will not allow any dispensaries, anybody offering CBD, anybody offering hemp. They cannot use text message marketing. Another issue that I saw was a liquor store was a client of mine, and the FCC would not approve them because on their website they didn't have something called an age gate. And what that means is when you go to a website, and if you're selling things that you have to be a certain age to buy, they didn't have that, yes, I'm over 21 pop up that came up. So until that was going to be placed onto the website and secured, the FCC would not allow them to send text messages. So it is important. They don't fool around with it. This happened about a year and a half ago. This approval started to be mandatory. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing is, okay, we're ready to go. We have all these promotions. We have the graphics ready. We're excited, but who do we send this to? We have nobody signed up yet. So we need to collect some phone numbers. And when I say collect, what I'm saying is people are subscribing. You're not just going out and buying phone numbers and putting them into your system. People have seen your messaging and they said, yes, I do want to be notified about your upcoming events, or your upcoming specials and sales, and they've opted in. They have to have an option to opt out, which the platforms give. So don't worry, you don't have to do anything about that. But just remember, everybody has opted in to get these messages. So how do they do that? When you set up your text message program, you can create a keyword, and you can create multiple keywords, and that gets into the grouping that I talked about before. But you can get one keyword to start. And so they text this keyword in to the phone number that the platform has given you, and they've signed up. You can also use a QR code, and that comes through the platform as well. So you could have a keyword or a QR code for people to use to sign up and opt in to your program. So some ideas on how to get them to do this. The biggest is in store to have signage, and I'm talking signage everywhere. So it's going to be at the register. It's going to be at the tables, every table. It's going to be if you have a restaurant, the hostess might give out a small postcard with the QR code on it and explain the offer that they get. So it's going to be everywhere in your store. But most importantly, and I can't stress this enough, where I've seen this either boom or bust is through the employee buy-in. So you have to get the employees to understand the importance of this program, what it's going to do for the business, which means what's it going to do for them and their security of their jobs or even raises and things like that. So I've seen I've seen like contests, how many people can you get signed up at a certain time. So you can have fun with this too, but you have to get your employees involved. They have to, as they're serving them or as they're checking them out, whatever your location does to interact with customers, they have to be bought in and share the information and just make sure that everybody that comes into your restaurant or your location knows about this program. You can also do online registration on your website. On your homepage, you should have it, real prevalent on your web page, your keyword, your QR code. You can create a landing page just for this as well. Online, social media campaigns, you can do ads for it. I suggest to put it on all your cover photos of your profiles. So the cover photos, I've been doing this a while and I didn't really do an introduction, but I've been doing digital marketing for 16 years, since 2008. Um, so what I have seen throughout all of these years is that you have to pay to play, right? So in the very beginning, 2008, when I started, it wasn't like that. Well, anywhere that you can brand yourself for free online is gold. And one of the things that I think people don't use effectively enough are the cover photos on the social profiles. So the cover photos, I call it oceanfront property. This is like the biggest chunk of screen that you're going to have without having to pay for it. So cover photos, I think, are a very good place to be able to put the offering, the keyword, the QR code, and just have it sitting there. So every time they land on your socials, they're going to see it. Point of sale collection, if you can add messages to your receipts, it's great. You can put it onto your receipt. You can have the QR code or the code, have the offer that they're going to get if they sign up. So that's another idea. And talking about offers, I suggest giving an offer as an incentive to sign up. So I had a restaurant client and we decided they were going to give a free appetizer if it was used within 7 days of sign up. And they allowed it to be used that day that the people were there, so that they got the free appetizer. It could be a percentage off of something. So incentivizing people to sign up does work pretty well as well. And once again, there has to be a clear opt-in, opt-out process. They understand the opt-in because we're explaining it to them. The opt-out will be explained to them when they get their message back, thanking them for signing up. So you don't have to worry about the technology of that. We just have to make sure that the message going back to them explains how they can get out of this if they want. So what is a sample? What could it actually look like? I pulled this from this past summer. It was a client that I have, Zoe Desserts. You guys should actually check them out if you're in the Baltimore area. They have a great story. They have 2 locations and great desserts. So anyway, I just pulled a sample of one of their texts that we did. Of course, they can opt in, opt out anytime, but what's important to note is the graphic. I always like to put in graphics into the text messages. If some of us has signed up with the bigger brands, you probably aren't seeing that. You're probably just seeing a couple lines and an offer and maybe a link over to buy the shoes that are on sale or whatever. There's a reason behind that, and the reason is money. And I'll explain how all of the money part of this works. So This is an example. What I did is I created this graphic. She was having a comedy open mic night, which I thought was a fun thing. She has a great location for that. Um, so in the offer itself, below the graphic, I talked about the offer they were giving just for the VIP, people that have signed up for their text message marketing program. They got a buy one, get one offer. And then underneath that, I reminded them about the open mic night, which was again up in the graphic. So this is just one text that went out one week right before this event. We timed it that way. And then when I say over here, be careful with the graphics because it increases credits that you use from 1 to 3. So what does that mean? So what that means is that when you do text message marketing, it's based on the number of credits that you buy into. So when you're signing up with a software company that offers this, they typically will say, how many credits do you need? How do you know that? Well, I'm going to give you an example to do the math with you. A typical text, which is one that's short and sweet, no graphics, is 1 credit. All right, so there's your one. So if you know you're going to have a certain amount of signups and you're going to send them a weekly message, you can do the math and times it, and you can figure out the credits. However, once a graphic is added, credits go from normally 1 to 3 for that same text message. Sometimes it's a 2, but mostly it's a 3. So that same text message is now, I'm going to say costing another 2 credits on top. But you have to figure out how much money and your budget and everything that this is going to take. So let me put this in terms of money. Um, so you have the initial platform cost to get a certain amount of credits to send out. Then you have the investment of someone to manage the subscribers. You have to have someone to manage any income messages. You have to have someone to be able to professionally analyze the monthly statistics and determine what to tweak, what to keep, so that you can get more effective in increasing results. So here's an example. We have 200 signups. So we want to send them weekly texts and we want to make sure there's a graphic in it. So we're going to say it's going to be 3 credits for every text. That means on a 52-week schedule for the year, that's about 2,600 credits I'm going to need for the month. So there's the answer to the platform asking, how many credits do you want? I want at least 2,600. Software that runs this program ranges between $30 to $75 a month to get about 3,000 texts per month. Every company is different. It's a range, but we're just using this as an example. And then we're going to get at least 1 to 2 keywords. So if each time you add a keyword, it's a little extra cost. So you can start with 1, you can always add 2 if you want to start customizing the groups that you have. Then you're going to add in any professional costs for, once again, managing everything and testing everything and reviewing everything. So what does this mean? I can't give you that number for your business. I don't know what resources you have inside that could do this professionally for you. You have to create the graphic, you have to create the text message, and then you have to test it and then review everything. So if you have someone internally, then that's great because that's going to save you some money. If you don't, then you'll have to hire someone to be able to manage this if you don't think you can put it on your plate. So it is inexpensive. It's normally, depending on the number of credits, it's normally, I'm going to say from 350 to 650 a month, I think is a pretty healthy number to use for a small business. If you're talking a medium or larger size business, then, the numbers increase. But if you're just getting started, small business, I think that's probably the range that you should look for, that it's going to cost you overall. So text message marketing case study. So let's talk about a real case study with verified results. There was a kitchen, Thai Spice Kitchen in Richmond, small restaurant, and it's been open for 7 years as of 2003. So their initial issue was that a third of their lunch traffic has decreased. They're just not showing up. Plus, they had food costs were increasing. They were relying on, DoorDash and the delivery parties, and they pay 25 to 30% commission for that service. And then they had a limited budget. They had $500 a month to be able to try to fix this problem. So if you tried to use $500 a month for advertising or for, radio, or you just can't. You can't get a 30% increase on a $500 investment and in normal marketing platforms. So what did they do? They added text message marketing to try it out. So over a 6-month period, this is what they were able to do. Month one, they signed up 127 people. Month three, they were up into the low threes. And then month six, they were almost rounding about 500 subscribers. So that's what their results were. So based on that, the next numbers are what they saw. So within a 6-month range, their lunch revenue went up almost 50%, which remember, it was down 30. Overall revenue, so everything in the restaurant went up 32. The average order went up. And what I think is really important is direct ordering went up 60% versus using that DoorDash platform. So the traffic changes, they saw almost 40% more people coming in to the restaurant for lunch. Dinner reservations went up almost 30%, and repeat customers were almost 50%. So we're seeing big changes in traffic. We're seeing big changes in the money coming in. So overall, within 6 months, their ROI was sky high. So their average monthly revenue was raised by $10,000 just within 6 months. So, and that's on a very small budget. So remember, they're still at that $500 a month budget. The key metrics that they saw and they realized, and once again, all this is documented. First-time customers, because of text message marketing, was 184 during that 6-month period. So these were people that never had come into the restaurant, but because of text message marketing, they came in. The average spend was up. Repeat customers were up. Open rate was 98%, which is the national average, so that was good. Their redemption rate of their coupons was 34%, and their opt-out rate was 2%, which, is about normal. Operational improvements, they reduced food waste because they knew using the reservations and things like that, they knew when people were coming in. It helped with better staffing. They knew when they were going to be busy versus not. They didn't rely as much on the DoorDash and Grubhubs and those kind of platforms, and it improved their inventory management. So just using text message marketing at $500 a month, all of this happened over a 6-month period. So what I'd like to do is open it up for questions, if you would like, and I'm going to stop share so we can talk a little bit. There is a question. So it says, I feel like nowadays I'm subscribing way more email opt-ins and keeping text messages for favorite shops and eateries. I'm more inclined to use the discount code on my phone. So that's interesting. I would love to hear a little bit more about that. See if I can figure out how to unmute everybody. So if you'd like to see if I can unmute you. I'm not seeing that right now, but I would like to see why you made that decision. Why did you decide to change over and use text message marketing a little bit more than the email marketing? So I think I know after everything that we've just went through, but that's interesting. Another question is, thank you for sharing that, by the way. Another question is, how often do you actually do this? Like, how many texts do you send? That's where you get into, is it too much? Is it not enough? And if you remember that stat that I gave, over 60% of people want it more. I think it was 64, something like that. 64% of people want more text messages. So if you are a busy location, if you have live music, paint nights, trivia nights, if you have promotions every week, sales every week, tastings in your liquor store, whatever that is, if there's some reason why people need to come in every week because of something that you're doing, then you need to do weekly. If you're doing a monthly, I still would do at least bi-weekly. I think they need to at least have your touch a couple times a month. I always suggest to do weekly, and then we look at the opt-outs, and then we decide from there. So hopefully that answered your question. Um, Another question I'm getting is the credit thing. I know it is a little confusing, but when you do go on, if you start researching the softwares that offer this, it's all going to be about the credits. So you have to kind of do the math. And the question was, can you increase the credit? So you can start low. Just start in the lower realm. So why pay all this money for messages we're not going to be sending out? So start low, and then you can always add. You can always go into the next platform or the next stage. So you can always add credits. They'll be happy to do that for you because you're giving them more money. So start low. I would say start at about 2 to 3,000 credits in the very beginning to get you through the first couple months as you're building your list, and then you can start to build from there and add from there. There are some softwares and companies that will allow you to roll over the credits. So if you don't use them all, now the next month you have more. So that's something to look at as well. I always look at that when I'm signing up with partners. So I like the rollover because it's extra credits we can use. So that was another question. Not seeing anything else coming through. I do appreciate, I think we're just about ready to wrap up anyway. Um, I do appreciate your time today. I hope that this was informative. Please send me any questions, and I'm happy to be able to answer those. Once again, there is a recording of this. I will send that link out, and I will be putting this up on YouTube. If you have any other digital marketing questions, or if you'd like some other webinars, like send me some ideas. Send me some ideas of what you think a good webinar would be. I'm happy to do that. So once again, thank you for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of the year.